of Lulu. It's going to be very interesting to see, actually.
Kevin scratching his chin. He's just turned 21 yesterday, picked himself up his first victory, and it has technically still his birthday. Yeah, just about for 9 more minutes. It's still his birthday, so we'll see whether anything can help. Will it be Shyvana in the top lane for him? Well, that would be an Araneae maybe.
We've seen this combo coming in before where they pick up 2 tanks instantly. It's going to be Shyvana in the jungle for Araneae and Dr. Mundo in the top lane. Now, Renekton is the go-to pick, but we saw Roccat play Malphite yesterday, which works kind of well. He won't really be able to duel Dr. Mundo, but he can force a lot of team fights instead.
We'll see if he pulls out something different. Of course, he pulled out Malphite yesterday in that top lane. We've already seen a Malphite today from Wicked. Not quite going the way I feel he planned it, and interesting build, I think it's safe to say.
I think we have to question that build, not Malphite, but the build itself. I have never seen anything like that, and I don't actually think I saw him auto-tag a lot in the fights. So, not the best build, but...
Well, it's a build that may work in certain situations, but against the Dr. Mundo, we weren't too sure. Caitlyn, though, has been locked in for Salavar down the bottom lane, so we already know what the duo pairing down the bottom will be for Roccat. The final choice, of course, Evelynn has been banned away a number of times throughout the last few games. We'll see whether it's going to make its first appearance.
Now, Evelynn is a jungler who needs early kills to snowball, but she will put so much pressure on the map just by being Evelynn. You don't actually have to gank anywhere. The enemy will constantly feel you're close by, and when you put down a pink ward to try and spot her, the lane you're against can just go kill it because you can see the pink wards. So Evelynn will constantly have pressure on the map, and with the Caitlyn pick now, they have a very strong lane, and at the same time they have a lot of pushing potential.
Well, Jinx has been very popular today, doing a grand job. We could see Aqua Prisons coming out from Jree. Is it going to be Nami being selected in there? Champion that you played quite a lot of last split.
Yeah, and personally I still think Nami is very strong. I mean, she has her weakness in the early stages of the laning phase, unless you manage to land an early bubble. But once you hit the level 6 part, she's very strong. The Lulu pick instead, though, is not really that strong versus a Caitlyn. There's not too much burst damage, but it's a very safe pick.
It's a good pop-up pick as well. If you're going to have the Shyvana Dragon's Descent jumping in there, follow it by the Wild Growth, can bounce up the entire team if it catches in the right place, which we have seen in the Korean team, the likes of Impact in the top lane.
Yeah, and it also helps Jinx survive a lot. She doesn't have any escapes herself, but giving her the Wild Growth and the shield, coupled with maybe a Whimsy for some more move speed together with her passive as well, actually synergizes really well. So far, I like the combo from Millenium.
Well, we'll see what they're going to counter it with. Of course, we know the 2 duo lanes. What is going to be the mid laner? What are Roccat going to pull out here? Will we see something different from OverPow once again? He pulled out Pantheon the other day. Galio is actually a potential. It used to be the mid laner of choice for Alex Ich.
I don't really see the Galio pick making much sense. There's no AP damage right now on Millenium's side. Normally it's more of a counter pick with like heavy AP setups, but he changes.
That's more like it. Yeah, that's more like it. We could see, of course, the classic. The crowd actually sighs. It's like, oh, Mundo versus Renekton again. Well, it may well be happening in that top lane. Riven has been one of those champions of choice since Faker decided to really shock the world and say, this is actually what you should be doing with this champion.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Renekton, we don't really need to touch much on it because we've seen it time and time again. But Riven now is a very hard champion to actually counter pick because she's very safe in lane. She can pretty much always get her farm, and she can duel pretty much everyone early game.
Well, we'll see what the final choice is. What will Kerp play? He's spinning that tracker ball and flinging himself around the mid. You can see it just in the distance there. His thumb already ready and waiting to go on it. Could it be Ziggs? The crowd were like, Twisted Fate! Ah, no, Ziggs again. Ziggs has actually made it through to the final pick, which does actually surprise me.
And I like this pick-up actually because Ziggs has a chance to poke Riven a lot. Do a lot of early game damage, and a bit like versus the Nidalee matchup, he can push her into the tower very early and force her to CS under the tower, which is very hard. But on the other hand, if Riven decides to all in on Ziggs around level 6, he might be able to pick up a kill.
Well, they are the final picks and bans. What do we make of these 2 team setups? I mean, we're seeing standard top lane almost, Mundo versus Renekton. It's something we've seen a lot of. Bottom lane, you talked about how there's not a lot of mobility on Jinx. However, we've already heard from Reckless saying, well, that's not really a matter because in terms of strength, she is far superior to anyone else.
That's the thing, and right now, who will dive on her? Evelynn will try and come in from the side, land the ultimate on her, and then Renekton will follow up together with Riven. If this fails for Roccat, they don't have anything to take down Jinx. At the same time, Millenium scales really well into the late game. Mundo and Shyvana becomes these huge tanky monsters that you can't really deal with. Jinx does so much damage late game, and Six as well. We just saw him last game as well. He scales so well into late game. Generally, I think Millenium, if we manage to get to the late game, has the advantage.
Well, that's what Deficio thinks. What do you guys at home think? Because we want to see who you guys at home think will win this matchup. Right now, it is split down the middle. 50-50 you guys have voted Roccat and Millenium. So everybody's sitting on the fence back home. But currently Deficio thinks Millenium are going to take it.
I didn't say they're going to take it. I said if they go to the late game, I feel like they have the advantage.
That's some serious backpedaling there right there.
All right, fair enough. I'll stick to my word. I'll say I think Millenium will take this game, but I'm really looking forward to see how Roccat will play this. They don't really have any Wombo combo they can do this time, but I love the teamwork and I want to see them use it now.
Well, we'll see if it works out well for them, because starting out as the blue team, it is going to be Roccat, and of course the red team will be Millenium as we join the Rift. Right now we're going to see whether or not any of these teams set up for the level 1, because as it stands, we've not seen any level 1 engagements.
We haven't had much. I think the only level 1 engage we had was Yellowstar trying a hook on Enrated in the Fnatic SK game, but that doesn't really count. Right now, though, in the way the current system works, nobody really dares to go in for the early invades. And at the same time, once you hit the 130 mark, you just put down the wards and you kind of stop the whole late invades.
Well, Jankos, of course, can stealth his way in there, but Araneae are immediately getting towards that death bush and stealing a position, which means, will we see Araneae going to try and get that ward down? If he does, he's going to walk face first into Jankos. I don't think he's going to go for it. Those choppers, of course, from Kevin. We did see them pausing previously because he couldn't throw that cleaver out. Instead, he may well face check in towards Xaxus, but instead, no. Xaxus already steps away, shows himself, so everybody doing a little bit of a merry dance at the start.
I feel like we've seen this level 1 before. Oh, who guys coming out in there?
Oh, Death Sentence lands on towards Araneae. Has to pop that burnout. Jankos just continues to follow through. See the Ziggs bombs coming through, but he takes him, Araneae, very low. Is it going to be enough? Yes, he should be able to back away and get back before the minions spawn.
Now, Roccat could actually go in and try and get a few wards while Araneae is in base, but they decide not to. Safe start once again.
Yeah, Jankos backed as well, so he's gone back to base. It looks like it's going to be a red buff start for Jankos on Evelynn. It means it will be a blue buff start potentially for Araneae. He's actually heading towards, and there is lane switches.
Millenium wants to late invade on this blue because there's a TP on Kevin, so you can always TP down to the bot lane, and it's only Silver and Vander actually at the blue right now. They can pick it up.
See whether they go for it. I think they were expecting this. Yeah, you can see immediately, but it's going to be 3 members of Millenium coming in. They put the ward down. They don't take out the ward of Roccat, and Roccat immediately force them away just with that presence alone. It is going to be the blue buff start for Araneae. He's already picked that one up, and it's going to be a red buff start for Jankos. Let's see how the race commences.
Yeah, Millenium was hoping that Evelynn was starting blue for Roccat. Sadly, she wasn't, so they just decided to back out and use the TP down bot lane, and nothing really happened from it. Smart start though by Millenium, and they used the TP already from level 1.
Oh, Kerp getting in the OverPow's face already on there. Of course, he's going to have a big range differential over him, but if he gets caught out, if he gets a little too close to OverPow, he could be in serious danger.
Definitely. The mid lane though is going to be very interesting for me to see. I want to see if OverPow is, as you just touched on yourself actually, wants to go for early kills, or if Evelynn is going to come in there and try for an early gank.
That's a scary thing for any mid laner, any laner honestly, to think of when there's a roaming Evelynn, especially with the way the game's developed, with those pink wards now being visible. Everybody's a little bit more worried about any stealth minions.
Now, Millenium has vision, or had vision on Evelynn just before. They knew she just did her big rave, and from here on though, they don't actually know where she went. This is the thing about Evelynn. There's constant pressure on the lanes now. You never know where she is.
Well, Mundo Denler's bottom lane is going to be up against Renekton. Xaxus versus Kevin. Kevin played a Mundo in the previous game up against Gambit. He had a horror show there because he was up against, well, the scary Wolf of Warwick.
Scary Wolf of Warwick. Fine, I'll give you it. I start liking the Warwick pick. But this game right now, though, bot lane or top lane 2v2 going fairly even so far. It's going to be fairly even pretty much the entire game.
We'll see how it develops. At the moment, it is 20-18 CS. Of course, the support's not picking anything up. It's Jankos we want to keep our eye on, though, because he's already coming down. Double buffed up here, making a look towards Kevin. Kevin has got flash available, but that is it.
If he can manage to land the stun, and everyone goes, he has to go in right now.
Xaxus goes in, gets the stun down. They didn't actually follow it through, so Jankos is going to sneak his way and stealth in towards the bush.
Yeah, Jankos didn't actually show himself yet. Minions do not spot Evelyn, so right now Kevin has no idea Jankos is in the bush.
Well, Kevin continuing to throw out those cleavers, chugging down a potion. Now we're going to see the flash, the stun. Is it enough? Jankos goes deep. He gets him on the tower. He's going to take another tower hit in the back, but he will be safe. And that's first blood for Roccat.
This is the synergy I was talking about. Instantly, as Xaxus flashes in, Evelyn is there. He goes in instantly on the call. It is so well played by Roccat, and they pick up the first blood.
Very decisive play from many members of the team, and of course Jankos and Xaxus have been playing together for a while, but not as long as the likes of OverPow and Celavar. They've been there for a very long time. Araneae, they know in the position of Jankos, immediately counters, goes for the Wolves.
Gets the wolves right now. He needs to get out though. If he starts doing the big wave, Jankos will find him. He doesn't have a red buff though, so there's not really any kill potential. Oh, we actually see a fight.
Yeah, he sticks around, goes for the big wraith, and will back away from it. He didn't get the big wolf either, so only got the two little ones. So Araneae not really that successful on his invade. Jankos comes back in there, fancying back and pace for the Kerp's going to get engaged upon, throws the mines down straight away, and that's going to be a danger for OverPow.
Kerp actually wins this engage. He still have health potion left as well, so for him, this was a good trade. OverPow will need to think an extra time next time he jumps because the minefield is there.
Both these AD carries still equal. Get to see Creaton getting hooked in there. He'd already thrown the chompers down when he knew there's not going to really be too much follow-on, but that was a great engage. Creaton taking low.
Yeah, so smart play by Vander right here. He puts down the lantern, making Millenium think that the jungler is there. But so they start backing up. He lands the hook, and they get some good trade or took good damage in onto the bot lane of Millenium.
So let's slow things down and see how it's going to develop now that Kevin's already lost one fight. You can see the glitter lances being thrown out from Jree. He's going to try and force on towards Vander, just slows him down. Celavar getting poked out, but the shield from Vander quickly thrown out with that lantern. And they trade back and forth once again. 46-40 CS. It is so far Celavar just edging it slightly.
Edging it slightly right now, but look at the bot lane. Renekton getting quite the lead. He had the first blood also, or he only got the assist, but he's having full pressure in the lane right now, and everything can actually come down for another game because Kevin has no flash.
Araneae coming around towards the middle lane. OverPow is going to go stepping straight in towards the bush, and he's going to face check straight in towards the burnout. He's not going to be landing the Ziggs bomb. Instead, OverPow will just stun up Araneae and walk away from this one. Still confident in his levels.
Very even though across the whole game right now. Small advantage to Roccat. They did pick up the first spot and they are slightly winning in farm in the lanes except for the mid lane right now. But that was also expected.
Well, Ziggs has now got his ulti, so we'll see whether he starts using it. He's already heading down south. Blue buff's not available, so it's only one thing he's got in mind, surely. It's ward in the bush.
Ward in the bush. This pink ward actually in the small river bush is very clever because people generally do not run through the bush when they walk past right there. We can actually expect maybe to see this ward being there for a long time.
We'll see. We'll count your timers. It's the 7-minute mark. We'll see how long it lasts because I know you guys love those wards. Meanwhile, Creaton, he's clearing out that top wave. It is going to be the blue buff being picked up this time for Kerp. We'll see whether actually... I expect Jankos will probably keep the blue buffs for Roccat.
Yeah, Jankos will most likely keep the blue buff unless they feel that OverPow needs it to farm. Because right now a blue buff 6 is having so much damage and so much pushing potential that OverPow might not be able to hold the lane without the blue buff.
Look at these two AD carries. Confident stuff from both of them, going straight for the BF swords. Both of them backing off there, so no advantage gained from either so far.
Both of them had farmed up 1,550 gold, so they instantly buy the BF sword. It is the preferred route for most AD carries, and right now, Sick Bomb coming in, once again clearing waves, stopping the push.
Stopping the push. It's actually a rotation coming as well. Kevin goes in towards that top. Didn't last too long there, just around about a minute. Jankos finds it, and it is going to be Jree and Creaton now down the bottom up against Xaxus.
Jankos did his homework. You've seen how many other people actually failed on spotting that ward, and he walks straight in there and clears it. Good job by him, actually.
Maybe I should be a pro player because I always walk through that bush.
Do you actually clear the ward when you walk through?
There's never wards there at my level, trust me. Nevertheless, it is Creaton and Jree up against Xaxus in this bottom lane, but it is going to be Jankos coming around the side. The stun they want to get is going to be on Creaton. They will get it. Creaton taken so low. Barrier's not going to be enough. It's another pickup in the bot lane, this time for Xaxus.
Xaxus and Jankos are doing work. Amazing once again. He goes in, he lands the stun, and then Evelyn comes in.
Kerp gets engaged upon by OverPow, jumps in, gets the stun, the knock up, the ignite. Is it going to be enough? That's going to be broken wings. Tower hit's not going to be enough. The ignite will not be enough. OverPow gets the kill.
And we talked about the fact that OverPow could actually go for the kill after level 6. Riven has so much damage straight up, and there was no ultimate on Kerp because he used it to clear the wave top.
Absolutely, he completely timed that one out. That would have been simple communication. Salavar said, it is not available, no Mega Inferno Bomb, just used it on me, let's get in there. There we go.
Well,
Araneae got in there.
Yeah. Araneae decided.
We'll see that in a moment, I feel, at the moment. We'll see how that works out for them. Jankos is going to come back in there and clear the wave. Meanwhile, the top lane, let's talk about the fact that they are in these 2v1s. So obviously, we just saw Creaton going down the bottom, but look at this top. It is all about Roccat's pressure.
Saxus right now is so strong that he can actually keep the turret alive 1v2, meaning that Roccat can now recall and go bot with their bot lane and then keep defending the turret, and they're just taking the turret for free.
Well, Brutalizer picked up for OverPow as he goes back along with that. Vampiric Scepter, here is that fight in the mid. It's going to be pretty shortly done.
There's not much to say. Araneae comes in, OverPow stays even though he's low. Good engage from Araneae here and actually just picking up a fairly simple kill.
Yeah, straightforward. Ulti and Ignite being used on towards him, so no problem there. No Ignite rather, so it's just the burnout of the red buff.
Notice how scared Millenium's bot lane is to actually hit the tower. They haven't seen Evelynn in a long time. They don't have any ping ward. If they moved close to the turret and she was there, Renekton could engage on them again and pick up another kill.
Well, Araneae is doing what Shyvanas tend to do, which is just keep that farm going. They're such fast farmers, but you got to think, compared to Jankos, Jankos has been looking for those kills. He's come down and helped out Xaxus, and as you mentioned, Xaxus is that strong now that he doesn't really worry about that 2v1.
No, and Roccat is playing this early game absolutely beautiful. They know that Millenium has a great late game setup, so they just put pressure and they want to make kills, and now they want to force maybe a dragon.
4 members of Roccat coming in there, ace in the hole used to force Araneae away. That's going to be the jungler taken to half health. I don't think he's going to even think about getting in here and getting the smite. Roccat should take this dragon.
Kevin has TP though. We'll be interested to see if he actually goes for it or if they just give the dragon for free to Roccat.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for it. They're going to back away. Mega Inferno Bomb, not going to use that either. Roccat take dragon 1.
Millenium realizes how strong Roccat are at this point. Riven is very strong right now. Evelynn is very strong right now. And also Renekton is very strong right now. So they simply say, fair enough, we'll give you this and we're just going to farm up and we're going to try to get to the late game.
Bloodthirster almost completed by Salavar, and he's just going to continue farming out this bottom wave. 97 to 84 minions now as they go up against each other, these duo lanes. So finally, of course, Tower going down by Roccat in that top lane has caused this rotation. The hook on towards Jree. Piltover Peacemaker follows it up, and a big burst of damage on Jree. Araneae is lingering on the side, but he can't really do a great deal about this one. Roccat not going to follow through. They're just simply poking.
And they had a ward up there. They spotted Araneae because he slightly stepped out of the bush and they just wisely backed off. Good hook coming in though, and very nice damage they actually put on to Jree at this point.
Jankos coming up to the top once again, and Kevin just being focused down. Xaxus is in there, flashes away, pops that ulti. Is it going to be enough? Tries to teleport away. They have got the stun available. No! They don't get him, and he gets off towards that tower.
Great play by Kevin. He actually realizes there's no way to go for him. Had he kept running, Riven would have come up and finished him. Nice TP. But nonetheless, it's a TP down, and Roccat has the timer on it.
Well, potentially showing a lack of crowd control that they have in the Roccat team. We'll see how that creates any situations. As 3 members of Millenium stacked down the bottom. They know that Jankos was in that top, so they can keep this pressure on the bottom lane for now.
Notice how the whole thing in mid lane has changed. Kerp had the advantage early game. Now though, OverPow keeps shoving him up to his turret, and Kerp can't go anywhere.
Well, OverPow's going to jump back on towards Kerp. Kerp uses that launch mechanism that he can put down of his, I think, is he playing the Aqua? Yes, he is, so it's a rubber ducky.
A rubber ducky. Now, blue buff. Smart move by Roccat here. They want to fight constantly.
The hook on Araneae. Will it be followed through? Yes, it will. Flay goes in. Box gets thrown down, but it is actually Vander in trouble. Dragon's Descent used by Araneae because OverPow comes in. Ace in the hole's going to land. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. OverPow finishes off.
Once again, amazing by Roccat. They want to fight for everything they can get close to, and everyone is there and ready to fight. OverPow making the big plays.
Well, it was Roccat that managed to steal the blue buff as well, so Jankos walked away with that one, and that's going to cause problems for Kerp in this mid lane. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Salavar starting to chew his way through the minions. 115, 116, 117, counting upwards, just against 100 of Creaton, starting to build advantages all across the map.
Millenium has to do something about this bot lane, or the tower will fall in. Maybe not this wave, but next one again. Though, good thing for Millenium right now. even though they should fall behind, they have great wave clear with the 6. Even the Shyvana can help, and Lulu actually works really well as well. So they can keep extending the game, keep farming, and maybe get to the late game.
And now we're hitting, what, level 9? Mundo would ordinarily start to step into it, but how do we see it? Because a 1-0-1 Renekton with Sunfire Cape, Spirit Visage on the way, up against a Mundo that doesn't even have the Sunfire Cape completed yet. It's surely a big advantage for Xaxus.
It is an advantage for Xaxus, but he won't be able to kill Dr. Mundo. This is basically just going to be farm versus farm. One is going to push the lane in, the other one is going to go up and grab the farm, and then they're going to switch around. There will be no kills in the top lane right now.
Well, bottom turret goes down. Middle turret will be next. It is a 4,000 gold lead already, just 14 minutes into this game. Roccat really have turned up to the LCS in the spring split to play and to pick up victories. But Millenium, can they counter it? We see Kevin still taking low. He's got to be careful here. Has to pop that ultimate, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Xaxus in there. Jankos is running for his life. He's going to join the party. Millenium's going to be in trouble now. Kevin's going to be the focus. Ziggs bomb's coming in. It's not going to... Yes, he does land on Xaxus. Xaxus flashes away, though, and survives.
Jankos is playing amazing this game. He's everywhere on the map. Everywhere he needs to be. He's going on Kerp.
Jankos goes on Kerp. Overpow's coming in. He's going to come around. Flashes on towards him. Gets the stun down. And Kerp just bounces away. Broken Wing's not quite catching.
Almost picking up a kill of Overpower. Roccat is rotating on him. Oh, the Roccat almost killed Jankos.
Well, Jankos surviving, just getting the lifesteal from the minions. So that Mega Inferno Bomb, sorry, the Super Mega Death Rocket. They've got the full combo. I'll tell you, it's going to catch me on my guard.
So far, every time something happens on the map, Jankos is there. He's part of pretty much everything except for the one kill Overpower took alone in the mid lane. 2-0-2 for Jankos right now. He's playing amazing.
He's playing like Wonder Woman, I think it is on Evelyn. Right now, bottom lane, Creaton, that's where we just saw the shots fired from. He's still down there, but it's the mid lane. The problem is, Overpower going a little too aggressive. Wasn't expecting Kevin there, and I don't think they're going to be able to do a great deal about this one. This will be Millenium picking up a kill. He's going to try and turn it back around on Kerp. Nope, not going to happen. Kevin gets the kill, but mid lane turret's taking a lot of pressure from Roccat.
Took a lot of, not too much damage in the mid lane, but smart bait by Kerp actually. Overpower spots him going into the bush, and then Kevin is waiting in there. A bit too greedy from Overpower though, but not mattering too much at this point.
Maybe biting off more than they could chew. They've got to be careful of that when they come up against maybe the likes of Fnatic and Gambit. They could turn that back around on them. As it stands though, they are one game up, and that was previously against the Super Hot crew, up against Millenium, 5-2 up, 5,000 gold lead 16 minutes into this game. That's a big advantage.
That is a huge advantage, and Jankos, he doesn't want to go under pressure right now. He just bought a blue pot. He wants to fight. Next Dragon is coming up in 20 seconds. I think it's going to be very risky for Millenium to actually go for the fight, but no, they can't really just let Roccat take everything.
Well, the bottom lane is once again the duo battle between Creaton and Salavar, with Vander and Jree trying to create those situations as the supports. Ward's being placed down there. Blue Buff will be up shortly, as well as that Dragon. Next focus target, and it's Roccat getting the early vision.
Roccat is already setting up for the blue buff right now, getting the traps down in the entrance to the blue buff from Caitlyn, making it very hard for Millenium to actually go in for the fight.
Well, it's 3 members of Roccat split off here. They do have the rest of the team joining them, so now it's 5 members of Roccat in the river area and starting to leash out that Dragon.
Interesting enough there, Millenium actually seems to they want to fight. Kevin hasn't TP'd yet though. He TP's now.
Mega Inferno Bomb comes too late. Jankos has already picked it up with the smite. Teleport comes in from Kevin, like you say, splitting off a little too late. It's actually separated the AD carry. Jree gets hooked in, not really the one they wanted, and it's actually Roccat trying to disengage. You can see the box being thrown down by Vander. Is it going to be enough to pop him away? A wild growth used on Araneae, quickly trying to get on towards it. Jankos comes around the side, the damage suddenly coming through. Roccat turning back around. You cannot mess with Overpow when he's in such close proximity, and you can see Jankos wanting to get kill after kill, runs on through, gets himself a double kill.
The burst damage from Jankos and Overpower coming in right there, going huge in this fight, taking down Creaton and Jree. Their TP came in from Kevin way too late. The Dragon was already dead, and Kevin had TP all along. Not sure why he delayed it.
Well, very late plays. Teleport, like you say, coming in too late. It's actually cost them 2 deaths, sorry, a Dragon and middle turret. That's a big cost in terms of money. And you can see it's now a 7,000 gold differential to make that an 8,000 gold differential.
Roccat is just playing absolutely fantastic. They are controlling the map, and they pick the right fights and they win them. It is amazing to watch, and the coordination we talked about before is showing once again.
So Creaton, can he try and create any situation? He's kind of been the man that's really been putting Millenium on his back. The AD carriers tend to do that. But honestly, he's kind of met his match in the terms of Selavar and Vander. They've been doing a fantastic job down that bottom. Already 2 deaths to his name. Let's check out that fight. This is all about the teleport coming too late.
If you see the TP coming in too late, they still decide to go for the fight, even though Millenium is behind in gold and they don't have to fight. They can back out right now up through the blue buff. But Araneae goes in for the engage, and this is where it goes wrong. Notice Yankling's coming up from the top, hits the ultimate on 5 people, and then OverPow goes in and goes big.
Ace in the hole comes through, lands on Creaton, and look at this. They're just all great. This is perfect. This is what you want as a melee champion. It's like, oh, they're going to line up for me. This is great.
This is so perfect. Jankos, I imagine him just calling, go, I'm hitting like 5 people. Obviously in Polish, but still, he lands it, and then OverPow goes in instantly and picks up kills.
Oh, OverPow clearing out that wood, pink wood down the bottom, farm-wise in between them. He's doing a very good job at keeping up as well. So, mid-turret, look at that. It's just a breath of fresh air. We'll take that down. Jankos is going to come around. Vander's actually going to be maybe the one to hit it. No?
I think the turret is actually already dead.
It's gone. Ah, it went when we were in the replay. That's why. So we don't actually see it. It's gone. It's a ghost.
Ghost turret here. Doesn't really do too much. I was also wondering why Jankos was just walking by it without getting hit.
Gun shot. So this is a miracle. They found a way around it. Nevertheless, down the bottom lane, OverPow's got that big wave coming in there, and look at that. Creaton's like, I'm not getting close to that crazy mid lane Polish man. He's at 3 kills, 2 deaths already, and he could absolutely rip Creaton apart. Oh, Chompa's nearly caught onto him. Kevin does manage to get some damage down on towards him. Pops that ultimate, but look at Jankos. He's just waiting at the side. Wants to come in for this one. He wanted Creaton to come around the side, but it's not going to happen. Roccat in full control right now.
OverPow really wants to make plays. He's going a bit too aggressive a few times, but he's definitely keeping the pressure up, and Millenium feels it. Creaton has to be very scared. If he gets caught by OverPow, he will die.
Well, Vander swinging up the hook, doesn't quite throw out that death sentence. Kerp was potentially the target, and Roccat really looking to try and create a player. Millenium having to play full-on defensive duty. That top lane wave maybe feeling juicy. I think Yazazas may well head off there. At the moment, though, Roccat, very disciplined performance. Despite the fact they have a big advantage, they're pulling together.
But this is a very good setup by Millenium. They keep 2 people but to stop OverPow. Oh, might not actually go in. Nothing really happens here. Everyone doesn't have any hard CC to put on Araneae. But smart move by Millenium. Oh, hook coming in.
Jree gets hooked in there, and they follow it straight through, throw the box. Kerp's the one they want, and maybe Kerp's the one they're going to get, because Millenium drop like flies, and their Jankos comes through, running through, and well, OverPow completely separating the rest of the team. That's 5 members of Roccat taking down an inner turret. They're going to take the inhibitor turret without any issue.
Just when I said it was smart by Millenium, they divided up so they actually trying to defend. Then the hook lands and they go in for the dive.
Mega Inferno bomb only gets blocked out by Vander. It was Selavar the target they wanted. They couldn't quite get it though. Inhibitor should go down. Roccat in full control. 22 minutes coming into this game. They've already taken an inhib.
While this was amazing dive by Roccat, there wasn't actually anything Millenium could have done except for not being hooked. They were standing in the right position. They could clear and they could keep OverPow in bay 2v1 down the bot lane. It was though just a matter of time before Roccat would hit a hook and go in for the dive.
So, let's slow it down and look across the builds, because we're seeing actually Selavar, he's gone for the Static Shiv instead of the Last Whisper straight away. Last Whisper is coming out now, it seems, so jumping on for that one. You can see they're actually starting to create big advantages because, well, they are 11,000 gold ahead. OverPow potentially going to go for Creaton here.
He might try and go. Jree actually moved away. No, he backs off. Smart play by Creaton. He's an experienced player. He knows there's a chance OverPow is there. But the static shift, right now Selavar is the pushing potential for them, and he's also the wave clear for them. So the static shift is going to help him instant clear the wave every time.
Well, they are going to find themselves a little bit of time. Dragon, of course, up in 30 seconds. This time around, I'm pretty sure Millenium are not even going to compete for it.
If Millenium decides to actually fight for this, I feel that it might be the end of the game. Millenium just has to let it go, keep trying to farm up as much as possible. But that's a long way to go. When even your Shyvana jungle is so far behind compared to the Evelynn, who's been so active on the map, you know things are looking very bad for you.
This is potentially proving why the likes of Evelynn have been banned out for a large portion of this. It's generally Diamond that actually this is taken away from, but Jankos has proven at 4-0-5 he is not to be trifled with, and with that Rabadon's death cap almost completed along with the Deathfire Grasp, that's pretty scary for a jungler.
Jankos right now is able to pretty much one-shot Creaton if he catches him from the side. We saw the same with the Elise pick yesterday. He went full AP on it and just dominated the game. I think it was 7-0 at some point in the game. He's playing so offensive, and he believes in himself so much, and I really love the way he builds it.
I'd be interested to check that stat, whether actually Jankos has died as a jungler right now, because it certainly hasn't in this game, and looking like it may well not be possible, because once that shield's going to get huge now with that amount of ability power on them. This bottom turret looks like it's going to be not long in this game. That will be the 6th turret of the game without reply by Roccat, 6-0. When you start getting any outer turrets in the lane phase, generally it's not looking good.
It is definitely not right now. Kevin can hold OverPow top, but he won't really be able to kill him, which means he can keep pushing down the lane, get a few hits on the tower, dash out. At the same time, the 4 other members of Roccat can just push up another lane, and if they should break out a fight, they, right now, should be able to win it.
You know, for me, so far, after talking to teams, Roccat, you know, not only obviously impressing here, but the fact that a lot of teams rated Millenium very highly coming into this. They were saying these are one of the teams to watch. These could potentially challenge for one of the top spots. And right now, Roccat are making them look amateur.
They definitely are, but I still think Millenium is a great team, but I just think that Roccat brings something new. This is like seeing as in Millenium in the last bit of the start, when they came in, they were so aggressive, they kept making plays early game and just dominated everyone. Now, Roccat is doing the same to them. And if they can keep this going, how long will it take Roccat?
And, you know, I think back to the World Championships and see the aggression the teams brought, and that worked wonders for them. That's the aggressive teams were the ones that were there and around the final time. And, of course, you think back to the days when Moscow 5 broke onto the scene. Their aggression that they showed also won them many trophies and tournaments. And Roccat may well have found the recipe, and this could turn, you know, force a lot of other teams to have to go back to the aggressive stance.
Definitely, and this is actually what I hope happens. We want to see people fighting Roccat with their style. Right now, they can pick up a free Baron. Millenium has no way to contest it, and they don't even mind them picking up this Baron, because this is how it is. They just need to keep defending.
I mean, they mind.
Yeah, okay,
There's
they
not a lot
mind,
they can do about it.
But I think they all agreed pretty fast to not try and fight for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a great deal they're going to do about that one. So, wave clear coming through. The inhibitor, I believe, in the middle has respawned, or is about to. So, we'll see what they do with this Baron. Everybody's gone back to buy. We're seeing some interesting builds.
Yeah, but I'm a bit surprised. First of all, we actually have pause coming in. But talking about this, I'm a bit surprised about the trinkets from Roccat at this point. They could have went with some sweeping lenses and put more focus on denying vision from Millenium. But right now, they feel they have enough control of the map.
Well, it is Kevin, once again, that seems to have an issue. It's not just Alliance that have the pauses, it is also just Millenium. So it's just those two teams. Kevin obviously seems to have an issue. We'll find out what that is. I'm guessing it may well be keyboard related. It was previously, his Q wasn't working, I believe, last game.
Maybe it stopped working again. I don't know.
Well, the bottle of water is helping. He's going to rejoin the game, and I feel we'll be getting things underway. But as it stands, 10 kills to 2. It is a 15,000 gold differential 26 minutes into this game. It's looking pretty grim for those guys. And remember, they can't talk during this break. What goes through your mind when there's a pause like this, you're this far behind? I mean, you've just got to sit in silence, and obviously there are some pretty glum faces right there.
I mean, for Roccat, it's all about just keeping the focus, keeping the momentum going. So as soon as the game starts again, you just keep rolling and rolling.
Yep.
For Millenium right now, I think everyone is thinking the same. We just have to try and turtle this out. We have 6 to wave clear. We have Shyvana to help a little bit, but as long as we can just delay this game by maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, they are right now in the position SK Gaming were against them yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you think about it. They got the Jinx, the Ziggs, like you say. This is quick wave clear. They got the Mundo even as well as he starts getting into this phase. He's already got the Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape, so he's going to have a lot of wave clear. So, hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the screen as we wait for Kevin to reconnect. I believe we just heard him reconnecting, so hopefully the pause will be back underway. I can already see the countdown, so let's get back into that game without further ado, because we hear the rubber ducky bouncing off there. That means Kerp is going. Don't worry, guys, the game will be back on a moment. And at the moment, it's really a very one-sided game. Roccat in full control from the lane phase, and it's a very impressive lane phase that they have.
It's an amazing lane phase.
Oh, nope. Pause again?
Well, not much to say, but the laning phase from Roccat is strong, but the jungling from Jankos is really what puts all the lanes ahead. He's doing absolutely fantastic.
This time around it's Creaton, so he's now disconnected. So it's Millenium that are having these issues. We're just waiting for them to sort themselves out. So now it's, you can see the Borson stood behind them. He admin for Riot Games, making sure that Creaton just has to relog his client. That's all we're waiting for.
Yeah, it doesn't look too serious. Yeah, he's actually going to reconnect now, so we should be going very soon.
Yeah, so not too long to wait. We're going to get the face of Creaton and the manly stance of Scott stood behind him, making sure she just edges off the screen just thinking, stop talking about me. I'm going to edge away there. So what do you do in this situation? Obviously, they're going to turtle. Baron's just been picked up. This is a deadly situation. Millenium are looking at a 0-2 for today. That's not a good start.
It's not a good start, but right now, Millenium has to hope that Roccat will make a big mistake, maybe try like an over-aggressive dive. Or
which they've been doing.
They have been doing. OverPow has been very aggressive. If they can catch him out, kill him, and maybe try and turn it into something, that's the way back for them. They need to try and get some towers first, though. They have 0 so far.
Well, it is all Roccat up the mid lane. We have one member of just OverPow down the bottom. He's going to shove that wave in. Of course, that inhibitor is just respawned, so which means Roccat obviously going to go for that one first if they can get close enough. And I'm not too sure Millenium can stop this out. And this is the thing, like, you're talking about the wave clear that you have with Creaton, with Kerp, but when there's already an inhibitor turret down, it's very hard to defend. Boom, pause. Beautiful. Now, this time it is... I'm going to be looking. Can't see who it is. It's Kevin again.
Right, this is going pretty good.
This is going beautifally.
This is another way of delaying
This is a test
yes.
that Riot have put for you.
Yes.
Just for you. And every of the viewers, you guys at home are important, but we feel we're going to put you under the situation right now. So, fill for us.
One thing I will talk about.
Okay.
One thing.
Just one.
Jankos completed his dev cap. And I think actually right now,
holy moly,
he has more AP than 6 on the other team.
That's a problem.
That's definitely a problem.
That's definitely a problem because he's got the Elder's Spectral Wraith.
He has the Spectral Wraith, he has the DFG, so the damage he can put out instantly is insane. And right now, if they go for straight 5v5, I don't see any way Millenium can win it. If they do manage to, as we just talked about before, catch out someone and then maybe turn it into a 4v5 fight, they might be able to win it, but they're going to need to win a lot of them to actually get back in the game.
And talking about the aggression of Roccat, I want to talk about the third item picked up by Renekton as well. It's a Black Cleaver.
It's Black Cleaver. I mean, this shows the way they play. Once they get a lead, they just build offensive items and they just try to snowball it harder and harder. It reminds me again a little bit about an old Gambit. Or M5, actually.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it reminds me of, the full-on aggression of the old Moscow 5. And maybe Gambit are going to be sat at home, sat back in their hotel, but they've gone back to the hotel by now, and watching these games and seeing, potentially who they're going to be up against. Because don't forget, many weeks down the line, it's only a 12-week season. They have to face these teams 4 times. So everybody is going to be scrutinizing exactly what these teams do in the early games. And when a team like Roccat bursts onto the scene and destroys Super Hot Crew and potentially Millenium in the way they have, this is one of the teams that everybody focuses on. Oh yeah, you have to focus on this. This is also the big question for Roccat right now. Because again, we saw Alternate in the last split, started out really well. Nobody knew how to play against them. But people figured it out, and all of a sudden Alternate started losing some games. Now, Roccat looks very dominant, but we'll have to see if they can adjust once people start figuring out their tactics and start making tactics versus them. So actually it's going to be very interesting to see how much they actually have and how big the champion pools are. Right now, they're playing absolutely perfect though, and they all play different champions. And of course, while we're waiting and delaying here for Kevin to get himself back in the game, don't forget there's also games coming up after this. Cloud9 Europe, who we're hearing absolutely incredible things about, and all the teams are talking about them as well. This young squad coming through are up against, I will tell you who it is any moment now, up against heavy bot lane. From what I can understand, the Trundle pick Source used yesterday was actually something they had played against Cloud9 in scrims, and then he picked it up. He saw how strong it was, and he picked it up. I'm very excited to see Cloud9 in the Coke League. I think, or trying to qualify for the Coke League, because I think they will be a very strong team. Yeah, the Coke Challenger Series, of course, will be brought to you by Freakin' Kobe as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that one, because there's 2 more games to go. It is going to be Team for Nothing up against Tick, Trick, and I can't remember the final name of it. It's Huey, Dewey, and Louie in German. I can't remember the exact name of it, but that's what it stands for. Wasn't it Duck? Duck. So yeah, Duck. That would make sense with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. No, I have no idea who it is. I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. Do they not do that in Danish? Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. No, okay. So let's talk about the game. Well, let's talk about, in fact, the last 11 games. Well, We'll talk about this game because it seems that Pause has come back out once again. OverPow is chomping down that bottom lane, and Creaton is trying to do what he can to stop it, but it is all about Roccat breaking down this front door.
Now, Roccat is not even moving OverPow in to try and take the inhib. They keep him in the side lane to try and push the tower. They're confident they can take this inhib alone.
Well, they are confident, and why not? Because look at the damage they've already got. It's actually Xaxus that's just sticking around there. They try and turn him into a wee little cupcake, but it's not going to work. And now OverPow comes in to try to put a bit more damage on towards his bottom inhibitor turret. Super minions will be coming down the bottom lane, but I feel Roccat have taken a lot of damage. They may want to step away from this. They didn't take the inhibitor turret, actually. Xaxus didn't get the final hit.
They want to go in and get the last hit on this inhib, but they're actually getting quite low. Millenium might want to fight here.
Now they take it down, though. Death Sentence gets thrown out, doesn't find its home. Jankos comes around, joins them in there, and of course OverPower's been churning down this bottom wave. Kerp comes in, throws out those mines. That's going to clear the wave quickly.
I don't feel like Millenium is going to have a better time than right now to fight. Once activity engage.
Oh, that's going to be a flash hook. Not going to land on towards from Vander, but you can see already that inhibitor turret is taken low. Vander's the one taking all the hits, and he doesn't get taken down, which is a worry for the rest of Millenium, because if they can't drop the support in quick style, what else can they do?
Millenium has no damage right now on Roccat. Roccat can pick up this tower, maybe on the next wave. See Xaxus going in again.
They're going to take the turret down. It's going to be Xaxus tanking it out. That is one more inhibitor going to be focused on. Vander is going to get dropped low. Araneae thought about going for it. They're just jumping back and forth from that fountain. Creaton needs the mana. And Roccat, well, they're working down that final inhib.
Millenium has to buy some home guard boots and just try and keep defending now. There's nothing else they can do. Every time they drop low, they can go back and heal with home guard and try to rejoin the fight. That's the way they can possibly win it. Hook coming in.
Hook on Kevin. Will they follow through? You're damn right they will. They're going to jump straight through into it. Meanwhile, OverPow jumps on towards Creaton. That AD carry is not going to last long. Broken Wings just obliterating them with Jankos coming in. This is going to be Roccat closing out the game. The Nexus turrets won't last too long, and Roccat have looked tremendous against Millenium. Game 1 and 2. Oh, the hook once again. Dragon Descent used from Millenium, trying to jump away from this one. Roccat will close the game out. They will take their second victory in the Spring Split LCS.
Following